All right, guys, what is good? Quick video. Hopefully, I don't take too much of your time, but there's a lot to talk about here. I recently came across a video by Iowa Retro Gamer Dad, and that video was about the retro game collection influenced by YouTubers and what he's done as far as collecting games and why he collected games and him trying to get rid of games. And it's a lot of stuff to unpack in that video. It was about 21 minutes long, almost 22 minutes. He doesn't need any plug from me, but I'm going to put the link down in the description if you haven't seen it, because a lot of these channels like this don't really get seen. So I'm just going to do my part to help, and I'm going to do my part on give you my thoughts and opinions and add, just add to the conversation, because this is a really good conversation that was brought up. Now, the video is about 4 months ago, but this can be very relevant because no one really talks about this. There's very few people talk about what he's talking about. Not only the fact that is your collection influenced by YouTubers, but is this a collection that you really want? Now, I did a video not too long ago about ending my retro game collection because I'm done with pretty much going out to collect. I have about maybe 5 or 6 games, at the most maybe 10 games that I want left. Now, I did an entire inventory on my physical collection, and I have almost about 2,000 games physical. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but when you really look at the collection, it's a pretty big collection. It's not like these other guys that are on here that are extravagant and have thousands and thousands of games, but I got these games that I want for me. I got the games that I want. These are the games that I really want to have. So I really want to show you the video. Well, not the video, but the games that I actually got that were influenced by YouTubers. Because I do have a few, maybe like 3 or 4. And I'm going to show you those. And then I'm going to get into what he was talking about as far as the influence of your own collection and why I think it's a really bad idea. And I'm going to tie it into why I have my collection the way it is. So 2 games, obviously, if you know anything about Classic Game Room or whatever the case may be, you would know that these 2 games are synonymous. So I'm going to, let me get my, okay. So my video, well, not my video, but my games and what Classic Game Room does is synonymous with these 2 games. So I bought these because of him. I didn't know anything about these games. Honestly, I didn't know anything about them until I saw his video. Now, the first one is Truxton. You already know how he is about that game. And Musha. I paid a lot of money for this game. Jesus Christ, I paid a lot of money for this. I paid a lot of money for that. But these 2 games, Classic Game Room, I was influenced by those. I was influenced by him to buy those 2 games, and I love the purchase. I'm glad that I got them, and those games, you know, pretty much set. You know, it's sitting really good in my collection. I love playing them from time to time, and that's another thing I'm gonna get into after I talk about these next 2 games about actually playing your games. Now, these other 2 are from Metal Jesus Rocks. These 2 games that I've heard him talk about, and I decided to go out and get them because I thought they were pretty neat. First one is Kim Possible What's the Switch. Now, don't get it twisted. This game is actually awesome. It's a pretty cool platformer, and I highly recommend it. If you don't have it on PlayStation 2, this should be in your collection. He hit a home run with this one. He was right about this one. This is a very good game. And the other one is a shooter because I like spaceship shooters. I just did a video about my panel over there rotating. Slipheed, you know, The Lost Planet. Now, this doesn't rotate the screen, but it's a really good game, and this game is really cheap. This is a one spaceship shooter that you can find for probably about less than $20, and it's made by Treasure. So I just want to talk about those. Those are the 2 games that were influenced by YouTubers. Now, let's get into the whole retro gaming collection thing, because I know what I may say now is kind of contradictory to what I just talked about. You really have to be careful with buying games, because I see a lot of people on YouTube, they are buying stuff that I'm looking like, Lord, I know this is just for the setup of the room. I know this is something they really don't want. They're just doing this as a backdrop, and it's cool. If that's what you want to do for your channel, that's cool. I kind of did that for my last space where I was at my old house. If you remember what that used to look like, if you've been watching the channel, go back and look at some of the videos. I had a whole bunch of stuff on my wall, and just this space is a little bit too small, so I don't have it like that. But trust and believe, once I get our new place, it's going to look like that again. But those are things that I want. Those are things that I know that fits my identity. That is some, I love football. I got my football thing up there. I love Grand Theft Auto. If you see my videos from my other side, I got all my Rockstar stuff. I love those things. But make sure when you get things, those are things that you want. Because that is a problem with a lot of, not YouTubers, but collectors. You buying things because it's there. You have an impulse to buy things. You sit around and feel like you gotta have these things. And in all reality, those things just going to sit in the corner. Those things just going to sit there. You may play it for a few seconds or a few minutes or maybe an hour or two, and you just put it away and it goes on the shelf and you never really look at it again. Trust me, I've done it. I've done it before with certain games. People do it all the time. You buy things that you think you really need, or sometimes it's just things that you want, and yeah, you got it and it just sits there. It could become a problem when you're buying these games. And I highly recommend paying attention to what you're buying, because it could get out of hand very fast. Because a lot of people are sitting around saying this retro game collecting thing is actually expensive. It is, but if you're looking around, your collection could add up very fast by buying cheaper games. Games that you may feel like, hey, I may like this. Oh, this is a Super Nintendo game, so I want to collect for the Super Nintendo. I want to have X amount of Wii U games. I want to have X amount of PlayStation 2 games. Before you know it, you got games that are like, you have like 50 PlayStation 2 games. You'll have like 100, PS3 games. And trust me, they add up. And I've had to do some downsizing because I had to look and say, why did I buy this game? What am I doing with this game? You know what I'm saying? Why am I buying the remastered version of this game when I already have the original version and I don't need the remaster? I've done those type of things. So you gotta be really careful, and also you gotta understand, like, is this game is something that you have a real attachment to? I have an attachment to everything I have in here. I'm a huge gamer. Like I said, outside of these 4 games that I talked about, and it may be 1 or 2 more, but I know for certain these 4 games that I know that I was influenced to go out and buy, most of the games I actually looked at, based on my own preference, what I like. Most of the games that I have here are Rockstar games. They're sports titles, or they're like action adventure and maybe like spaceship shooters. I mean, that's basically what it is. I tried to dip my toe in the RPG world, and the only game I actually got into was Dragon Quest 8 and Dragon Quest 11. And, I tried the Final Fantasies of the world. I tried, and I'm sitting there with damn near all the Final Fantasies. I'm like, why do I got these? I had to get rid of them. It's all the things that you feel like you may need because you seen somebody play it when you were a child, or you played it when you were a child, and you feel like you want to relive that all over again. And it can be really detrimental to what you're trying to do as far as set up a game room or set up something that you can call your little space to relax and chill. For me, I love coming in here. I watch football. I play my games. I'll probably do something on the computer, and that's it. I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed to go out and buy another game or whatever, because I know what I want and I know what it is. Because some people like to just straight up hoard, and it can be a real problem. So I love this video by our retro gamer dad. I feel bad because I just found out about it, but I mean that's just how it goes. A lot of these guys with a few thousand subscribers don't get up to the algorithm like that. And with me, this is just my side channel, but I only got 300 subs here. But I think guys like us in that area between a few hundred and a few thousand, so I believe those guys make some of the best content. You see some of these bigger YouTubers now, they're doing a good job, but you really see them, they're doing a lot of mainstream stuff now. A lot of the guys are doing certain videos that don't really interest the average game collector. Most of the guys just watch just to see the story unfold as far as what article they're going to talk about, or what what's popping in the world of gaming. Guys like our retro gamer dad, who's actually talking about their personal experience in this hobby, is something that really needs to be talked about more. That's why I love the fact that, what's going on, with this discussion. Now, I like to do the type of things, I like to talk about topics throughout gaming, but I like to try to blend it to let you know that I'm a regular guy. I'm just a guy that's just love gaming. I love talking about gaming. I love talking about, the ins and out, even if it's a big hot topic or if it's just something like this. And I try to give a blend of both. And I think he does a pretty good job of that as well. And a lot of us do that. We're not going to sit here and just do a woe is me all day, or just talk about ourselves all the time. We want to react to certain things that are bigger in the news as well. But I think this is a topic that needs to be talked about more. This is a phenomenal discussion. The link will be down in the description to talk up so you guys can check this out if you haven't already. But I just wanted to add to the conversation. Like, look, listen, you guys just be careful if you're collecting or you deciding to collect the things that you want. Seriously, don't be in a situation where you're just buying a bunch of stuff and you're looking at it every day and it becomes like some sort of addiction where you're just having to buy all of these games and having to, you feel like you have to buy the entire collection or something. I think I don't want to get too far into this. I don't talk too long. I was very close to trying to do the whole original Xbox thing. I have over 600 games of original Xbox, and I got like 300 more left. But those games, like, I don't want those games, But I love the original Xbox. That I love a lot of games on that console. I love the way the console was set up. I love the way the games look. That's on that. It's just something about it. I love it, and I love playing that console. But I don't see myself just buying stuff just to buy it. Not anymore, anyway. I had that feeling one time, but I just don't see it. But I can ramble all day about this. I'm going to talk more about stuff of this aspect because I think it's a very important topic, and I don't think it's a topic that should go by the wayside. This is something that needs to be talked about more, like seriously, because I know there's a lot of guys out there who are dealing with this. I've dealt with it. I had to shake it cold turkey, well, with a little bit of help from my wife, but that's another story for another day. But I had to shake it, and hopefully other guys or girls that are in this, they can shake it too, because the worst feeling is going to a retro store, buying a game, and you're walking out that store thinking, damn, I really didn't need this, but I got it. And you don't want to go back in the store to return it because you already got a good rapport with that store, and it's just going to be an awkward moment. Trust me, you don't want to do that. I had to do that. I did that a couple times, and I had to bite the bullet on a few games, but hey, it is what it is. It happens. You have to overcome it. I'm going to get out of here. I talked enough. Hopefully you guys made it this far. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and subscribe, and check out that video if you haven't already in the description. It's a good one. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.